Hello, namaste, sasikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. Today is a very special day. We have very special guests from the different parts of the country, the elite personalities over here. And today we are starting up with a very interesting topic, which I was looking after to talk about. And I got the support of Mr. Abhishek Mishra, the expert of today, so that we can talk about this, which is the future of the world. Actually, we can say why coding in schools. So today we are going to discuss. Actually, we are, as we were saying before the show, that we are technology migrants. We do not know much about technology, and coding is in fact a technology. So we need to learn more about it. We need to understand more about it because we want to bring it forward to the students of our country as well as our school also. So without taking any time, I'll introduce you to the very special and eminent guest present over here, and my very favorite evergreen ma'am, that is Dr. Amrita Vora ma'am. She is the Director Academics of GEMS Education Gurugram. Ma'am, you don't need any introduction because everybody in India, at least, they know you very well and the awesome work you are doing for the students. But still, ma'am, everybody will like to know again about your educational journey. Ma'am, please let us know about yourself, ma'am.
All right. Uh, let's keep it short. The last 9 years, I've been working with GEMS Education as Director Education. GEMS Education happens to be the largest group in education across the world. And obviously, that means a whole lot of learning, unparalleled compared to anywhere else that I've been. I'm essentially a literature and psychology person who forayed into education somehow, more of a researcher. I did my PhD in literature uh, now many decades ago. But then learning never stops, and planning to do maybe another one now in education, working towards more in this area. Started with higher education, later moved to schools. So I think the one thing that makes me whoever I am today is the fact that as a teacher, I've taught at almost every level, right from pre-nursery, kindergarten to uh, postgraduate students, and of course adults. While because training has been one of the key things that I've been always associated. So that's about me.
That's amazing, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, we will thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. The next special guest we have is Neil Indrajit Kaur, ma'am. She is the director of a very prestigious institution, which is in Ambala, also in Noida, also, that is SD Vidya Mandir. Thank you, ma'am, first of all, for coming once again and joining us. Ma'am, we also know about you very well, but still we would like to know your educational journey, ma'am.
I'm Neil Indrajit Kaur Sandhu, Director Principal of the SD Vidya School Ambala Kant and Director of the SD Vidya School Noida. And I'm a master's in English. I started my journey as a teacher from various schools. My husband was in the army, so wherever he was posted, I used to pick up a job there, and I did a lot of job hopping. And it's been 18 years now that I have been a principal of a CBSE school. And I've been known for my innovation and for my green fingers. So we've been able to bring about a green school, one of its kind in India, which has won the Platinum Award by Climate Reality Project. It is a US based NGO. So we're working on these lines, trying to bring the change that is required in today's times. Thank you.
That's wonderful, ma'am. And thank you so much for coming once again. Next, we have Kanchan Tare, ma'am. She is the principal of a very prestigious institution in Indore, that is Shri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir. Ma'am is also the chairperson of Sahodaya there in Indore. And I came to know Indore has a lot number of CBSE schools, around 160 to 170 schools in Indore. That's wonderful, ma'am, and you are heading that. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for coming up to the show. Last night we had a talk, and you are so humble and you're so good. And might be because of this humbleness, you are able to, tackle up your school also and all the schools which are far connected with you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please, we'll also like to know about your educational journey. Ma'am, I think you're on mute. You're not audible, ma'am.
Sorry. See, this is technology where we have to be attentive. Thank you so much for inviting me for this. I'm in such a good panel where I'm really a part of this and I learn a lot, because every minute we can learn from each other. And yesterday night that I had with you, my journey started with MSc in biotechnology. I was the first biotech student of Devi Ahilya University, first batch biotech student. So you can understand without technology how much problem we faced for our notes and all those things. And that time only I decided whenever I'll go, if in teaching line, definitely first I'll take care of children. They should not face these kind of issues in their life. And probably after my MSc, then I did my master's in 3 different subjects, that is guidance and counseling and education. And presently I'm registered for PhD in education, which is I'm working again for the technology in academics, especially for higher class students. How can we turn it emotionally and spiritually for children? This is my topic, which is very, I cannot say how I'll get all these things in life, but because I'm connected with children, very much connected. Basically, I also started from my teaching career, started from primary till higher secondary and even the college students. So I'm highly connected with children because in a certain age, they are not free with their parents or even with their peers, and so many issues are there. So in Indore, many children, they used to call me Ma because they know I'm available 24/7 if they will call me anytime here in Indore. And this is the reason in last 5 years, I'm in core committee of Sahodaya because of this thing. Then basically science oriented and spiritual science is my favorite topic. So I won many, some awards also, as well as my students also won many awards in their science and technology projects and all those things. And my main aim is all children must be happy in their life, whatever it is possible from me, definitely I'll do. And socially, I'm connected with some blind association because that is my, for adults and blind, I'm working in a social way, as well as for inclusive learning with one of very prestigious, a lady in Indore, and she was the first lady who was Arjun tank rider. She's working in Khargone. Why I'm telling about her? Because very selfless work. So trying to do something for their life, but that's my journey. I hope I'll continue with these things. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful, ma'am. You are so humble and, down to earth. And that is why your children, they call you Ma, because 24/7 you are available. And the spiritual thing, that is the most important thing which is lacking in the schools. That is very good thing which is happening in your school, as you told me also. And I've come to know from others also. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Next we have a very pleasing personality from Jammu, Rajesh Rathore, sir, my favorite one. Sir is the principal of a very old institution in Jammu, that is JK Public School. Sir is also the president of Sahodaya in Jammu, and he's heading so many schools, and under his leadership, the school and the Sahodayas, they are doing wonderful. Welcome, sir. Welcome once again to the show, and happy to see you once again after a short time, not a very long time, and hope to have a good session with you. First of all, thank you. And sir, please, I know everything about you, but still, we would like to know about yourself, sir. Your educational journey from a teacher to a principal and to the president of Sahodaya in Jammu.
Thank you very much, Chandhok sir, and very warm welcome to everyone who is here on the panel. So friends, I started my teaching here from Lucknow because I wanted to be a Fauji myself, and I appeared in SSB thrice, and I couldn't make the grade. By God's grace, I got my very first assignment at Sainik School, UP Sainik School, Lucknow. And for 7 years, I was a NDA written and SSB coordinator. And today I'm so happy there are 56 commanding officers, and 50 plus are deputy commandant or commandant with paramilitary forces, BSF, CISF, CRPF, and ITBP. and 17 are with NSG, SPG, Para Commandos and Cobra Commandos, which I used to share with children. And today they call up and say, sir, you're in class 7th or 8th or 9th. And first time shared about NSG. So that's really in 27 IPS officers. So it is all about uniform. I feel so great, when I see maybe 2 stars and 1 Ashok emblem on one shoulder. So that really fills me with great admiration and pride for my students. And what is the life of a teacher? It is just to make children reach their dream destination. So that is, this my purpose of life. That is what propels me forward every moment. If what I can do in order to help a child make, dream means a roadmap and reach the dream destination. And again, my desire that whatever mistakes committed by we teachers should not be committed by our students. So to make children really sincere, to make children enlightened, that they should utilize their time properly. It is what I tell children. What is the difference between achievers and non-achievers? The degree of enlightenment. And how to make children enlightened, that's really important, because I feel 50% children, they are very happy-go-lucky, not really utilizing their time properly. And children must utilize their time, whichever field they have chosen for themselves. If they want to do something in music or games and sports, then in music they should do riyaz. In games and sports, they should do practice and really establish their credentials. So the greatest role of a teacher is to inspire children, to make them understand what great, the future is waiting for them if they are making their best efforts. So that way, then I moved to Delhi College Indore from Lucknow, resigned from the government job, pensionable job. From there, I moved to Gujarat, Dr. Varghese Kurian's school. I was vice principal for 8 years. And from there to this UP, it is Scottish International School. And recently I wrote, I was so proud that one child of a Scottish is the national topper, class 10th, 500 out of 500. So I shared feeling so proud to be the founder principal of a Scottish International School, Shamli. And then went back to again Gujarat, IPSC members school, Vallabh Ashram. And from Gujarat to Jammu. And last 6 years, I'm here in Jammu. 4 years as principal of GD Goenka, Jammu, then the Sri Ram Universal, Jammu, and now it is JK Public School, Jammu. So this is my journey. And of course, recently we had very closely contested elections. And by God's grace, like this, my friends, they wanted me to just, contribute my bit or best. So I took over, and by God's grace, things are going on very nicely. 43 events have been planned for the session, and it's a great, the start on 2nd of September, and things are going on very well by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful. Of course, under leadership, all the things will go at their best. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, sir. Next, we have a very pleasing personality who is a techie saver. I mean, the expert of today's show. That is Mr. Abhishek Mishra. He is the founder and CTO of Preserve Technologies. Abhishek has done BTech in computer engineering from NIT Jaipur and masters from BITS Pilani and certification in algorithms design and analysis from Stanford University. He has worked with companies Motorola, Adobe, Walmart Labs, and a few more. He's a founder and CTO of Preserve Technologies. His core area of interest is to machine learning, robotics, computer vision, and OpenGL and biomedicine. He loves doing yoga and pranam daily and loves to swim daily. Now, whatever he has talked about, he has written about his technology that after robotics, computer vision, OpenGL, and biomedics, I have never heard these names. And you have done all these things, you have interest in that. See, we all are, heading towards senior citizen. So we are technology migrants, as I said earlier, and you are a technology resident. So we wanted a person to call. I requested him to please come up for a few shows because I was very keen interested from the last many days that we need to talk about coding, we need to talk about robotics, because NEP also says that, and that is also the future, especially after the pandemic. So I requested Mr. Abhishek to please come up for a few sessions and guide us that how, when can, what are all these things, right or wrong, and which way it is right and which way it is wrong, and how can we take this further to our schools and to the whole country. Welcome, Abhishek, sir. Again, thank you. Thanks for coming on the show and sparing your time. First of all, just let us know that how did you came into your mind to start up this wonderful initiative? Then let us know something about coding. Actually, coding, what actually coding is. We like to, have knowledge about that. Over to you.
Yeah. So thank you so much, sir, and all respected principals. Actually, it's been a pleasure to speak in front of all of you. You all are very eminent personalities. So I would like to thank all of you for listening to me also. So, sir, basically, we started Pfizer in 2018. The only thing which was striking in our mind, what I, as a technology enthusiast, was seeing like lack of technology penetration in education, basically. And whatever we were doing, we were not doing in the right way or up to the mark. I would say the latest technology trend which we are seeing in the West and other developed country. So that is what motivated us to do something for our country, and even like our Prime Minister and all, the environment is also very friendly. Everyone was talking about Startup India, Make in India. So those kind of motivation like motivated us to start something for schools. Now, to begin with, why coding is important for school, coding or robotics, whatever we call, so why it is very important. Like now we all can sense like whatever we do in our day-to-day life, technology plays a very important role. However small or bigger is the task. Maybe like the way we are interacting with each other, without technology, this would have never been possible, correct? So you are sitting at your home, I am sitting at my office, sir is sitting at his school. So technology plays a very important role. Now, it's not like technology we should learn into the engineering college, because definitely we will learn in the engineering college, but now the time has come like we have to inculcate the seed in the child from the early, I would say like when they start learning, the way they start learning math, the way they start learning science. Similarly, we should start teaching them a bit about technology and coding. It's not like we should ask them to write the code in C, C++, or Python, but yeah, it should be something like they should do some logical activity, something like that. So if we see in the West, they like since 2005, they are doing visual programming for kids from class, like early kids, like till class 6. In India, unfortunately, we were not doing it. So there were so many areas where we think like we can pitch in and we can create something unique for the kids. So that gave birth to Pfizer and our like unique patented product. Cooding is one which we call coding completely offline coding for schools. The reason why we call offline, because a student is going to the school. A school is a place where student is learning everything. He's learning maths, he or she is learning maths, science, English at school. Why should he go somewhere else to learn coding actually? Why not the teacher at the school, they should be able to teach with some tool. Definitely the tool should be there, but it should be the teacher or it should be the school who should be the teaching the kid. Not some online or some other way the student are going and paying some X amount of amount. Anyway, let's not go into that. But yeah, it should be the school where the students should learn. It's a very good ambience. Students love to learn along with their peers. So that gave the birth to coding, using which we can like teach the coding completely offline way from class 1 to 12. Now, as I told sir, like coding should not be for like we cannot teach or ask class 1 student to write code. We should just inculcate the seed. So there is some technological concept called visual programming. If you guys are interested, I can talk just 1 or 2 minutes about this. Where we just, the way we kids play with the Lego blocks or some blocks, now they assemble something and something comes out. That way we can do the visual programming also. They can create, like if you want to run a cat, what will you say? In Hindi we say bhag bhag, the cat will run. English we can say move. So you just attach move logic to a cat and cat will start moving. That is we call visual programming that we have included in the code in class 1 to 2. Then definitely when the child grow and he or she acquire the skill, they can learn about C, C++, Python. As our NEP is also now NEP will come into effect from 2023, and government is also heavily pushing the schools to incorporate it. So Python, machine learning, these are the advanced concepts, which also can be taught at the school using Cooding. Now, the other important thing is robotics, sir. So I just would like to say one thing. Generally, what happens robot now, bringing something, assembling, and it starts saying something or start moving. That is not robotics, sir. We have to think. Like if I need to create something, let me take my real example. The way I am speaking with you, the way I am interacting with you, my body is doing n number of things. Sir, I am seeing you. I'm sensing that. I'm listening to you also. My body is listening to the temperature, surrounding temperature. When I feel cold, I put a jacket. When I feel hot, I do something. I go and take a bath or something like that. So there are multiple things which my body is doing. If we really want to teach robotics to the kid now, we should inculcate these small things. Like what a robot should do. It should not say hi or just move in a line. That is not what robotics. A robot should do n number of things, small things. That is what we believe, and that's why we created like n number of small activities in like coding programming, where you can do multiple things. Like you can sense the temperature. Based on temperature, you can take some decision. You can sense whether there is a light or it's not. It's a sunlight or room light. That kind of thing you can sense. Two device, the way we are talking with each other, two small computer can also speak with each other. Those kinds of things also you can do in coding and robotics. So I can speak a lot about this. But if I just in the interest of time, it's completely offline. Any teacher can teach. That is the most important thing I would like to highlight. Any teacher can teach. Any teacher of the school can teach. It's very easy to learn and follow. It's completely graded curriculum-wise. Like whatever we need to teach, everything is there in that device. Nothing else is needed.
That's
Completely
wonderful.
offline. Works, no additional software, nothing is needed, just a plug and play appliance. It works in the classroom as well as in the lab. It automatically gets connected to your lab computer in completely offline mode. So that's all we can do using coding and coding. Now,
Right. That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful. We like to know about all the things because that's a big, that having a robotics lab and this and that. So we'll talk about this so that how easy it is, because you are saying that any teacher, because the wonderful thing I came to hear from you is any teacher can teach. It is so simple. And you people, as you told me earlier also, you have made it into so small activities that the child will be able to understand basically according to his mental level, as I've understood, and he can work on that. We'll talk about that, sir, in the later part of the session. Thank you so much once again, Abhishek ji, for coming up to the show.
thank you.
We'll come up to the first round, a suggestion round, I'll call that. Amrita ma'am, we will like to know your views on the saying that what do you feel when you talk coding? Or we can say, what is coding according to you?
Thank you, Mr. Singh. See, I think today, as we speak, and Abhishek ji also explained in his own way, it's like the ABCD of everything. You choose to be a doctor, you choose to be getting into some sort of a technology-based profession. You don't choose to be into it. You maybe choose to be a psychologist. You may choose to be someone who studies literature or even teaching for that matter. 5 years from now, already things have begun, and since a few years already, but 5 years from now, I don't think any profession, any profession will really exist without for anyone without some basic understanding of coding. Already we see ICT literacy as one of the foundational literacies, right? It's not just reading, writing, arithmetic any longer. ICT literacy and financial literacy are already foundational literacies. Coding is one of the aspects within ICT literacy. A lot of it was already included in the school curricula. Thanks to certain organizations which have done some good marketing and therefore created a certain degree of hype, they've managed to sell that curriculum, especially online, in a very different way, which has given a lot of impetus to the word coding per se. But 30 years ago, I learned coding as a student. Of course, the language was different. We learned COBOL, we learned C, and then C++, and then more. But and then things evolved. That was a generation that was learning all this before the internet was as widespread and everything else. But today we are 100 times better connected, and we are all in almost everyday life using technology in all aspects. So it is already there. any kind of information, any way information has never been learning. It's, as Einstein put it, um, knowledge is experience. Everything else is just information. So anyway, information is not really knowledge. And gone are the days when just concentrating also on knowledge, skills, and understanding was something that we needed to give children. And that was okay, that was good. And we talked about the Bloom's taxonomy and so on and so forth. But things have absolutely transformed. And if we look at OECD's latest updates and the latest aspects on education, it's the transformational competencies that we really need to work on. Now, a child taking ownership of their learning, of course, is essential, but it's more important for the child to be able to not just show agency, but co-agency, to be able to actually function much better than earlier in a collaborative group, to be able to use co-agency alongside the use of tools or technology. That is so central already. Alongside that, also to have the skill to deal with any kind of dilemma, problem, conflict in a lot of good dispute-free manner. That's what OECD puts out. And to be able to create value in whatever they do. So we're not just talking about value-based education, but actually the idea of each child having the skill to create value. These are the transformational competencies that we are looking at developing in children, because whatever we may be teaching today, the pace of change is such that 5 years from now, too much may be redundant. So unlearning, relearning is the key, is at the heart of it. And each child to be able to create value as they go. Because the jobs for humans will not at all be the kind of jobs that are, or we can probably even imagine today. They are transforming every day at a phenomenal pace. So coding is like the ABCD. It's something, and this again, within coding, whatever we are teaching today will keep transforming. Now, this has to be built into the experience of children in school. For example, now recently when I had the SLC in one of our schools, one student, group of students actually built the software, which, or the app through which parents were just using the code, and they were guided as to which teachers in which classroom and who will they find where, and directed throughout the building. It's a large building. It's sometimes a tough thing for parents to look for people. So they were easily guided by that app. Similarly, there are many, many things that are solved by children on an everyday basis because they are seen as little problems. And can we find a solution to this? Okay, this is a concern. Can we think of a solution? Children use coding. Children use their understanding of different subject areas. They try to comprehend the problem in real life, asking people, and then figure out a solution and come up with us. Within the schools, a lot of different kinds of challenges have been addressed by children. They look at the sustainable development goals of the as slated by UN, and every other day they also keep coming up with, ma'am, this is a good initiative, let's try and do this. So as a result, they look at key concerns across the globe. They look at locally what are the people in the community around them actually facing as a challenge. Is there a solution that they can come up with? Things as simple as just some cleaning around the area or ensuring certain basic facilities to some children who probably do not have access to some facilities like that are also possible when children take initiatives. A lot of these initiatives become much more effective, much larger in scale and perspective when children also effectively are able to use tools or technology tools. Call it coding, call it what you will, but technology is there and here to stay. And it's essentially just about being able to make life easy and develop tools on an everyday basis that use what's available at hand and create value out of it. So that is something that I think we've been doing in schools. Just the way it is done has to change, has to become more real, has to become more based on problem solving and aligned to developing transformational competencies in children.
That's wonderful, ma'am. You're absolutely right. Because the best thing you told that whatever we are teaching right now may not be applicable after 5 years. We have to teach them for future, not for today. That is very important, if you can say in one line. So that has to be taught. And the most important thing, ma'am, is because in the A class, if we take 3 category schools, A, B, and C, so when we had been talking about an EP, so these A category schools had been saying that the most of the things we are already doing, but has to go on to B and C category also. So like I'm telling you that in Kanpur, when the last year we were going to have robotics competition. So out of 100 schools, only 7 to 8 schools are participating because they did not have the awareness about the robotics lab. What is actually robotics? As Mr. Abhishek was saying, and adding up few parts and making that is working and taking your command doesn't mean that is robotics. It is something different which has to be taught. So this thing has, because as you also said, ma'am, that in future, what is going to happen, you cannot imagine even. We say that after 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, there'll be no books. Teachers will survive, but the books will be taken away. They will be using tablets or laptops. No books, no physical books will be there, because the era is changing in such a fast position. You cannot understand that whatever you're teaching this year may work out next year also. But that is very important. We have to teach our children according to the environment. This is very important. Thank you so much, Amrita ma'am. You had given a lot of valuable, comments about the coding. And really, it is very enlightening. And for the other principals and the management who will be seeing into that why coding is so important and why coding should be taught and implemented into schools. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. I would just
Welcome.
quickly say my bye-byes here. I have a hard stop now. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Welcome, ma'am.
And all the best for the session. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much. Thank you.
We'll come up to Neil, ma'am. Ma'am, we'd like to know your views on the saying that why robotics, this coding should be taught in schools.
I think Dr. Amrita has put it very beautifully and talked a lot about it. I would further, her point that now that a new education policy has come up with coding as a subject, so we need to understand at this point of time as leaders that let it not be just a subject which children cram, rote learn, and just do it as a subject. Like we've all been doing mathematics, we've been doing physics, chemistry. We need to break the glass ceiling here. We really need to have hands-on, application-based learning happening for the children. And for that, we really need to make our children understand why coding. What is it, is going to change in their lives with coding. As it is, children are surrounded by, they are working on apps, different apps. They are on Facebook, Instagram, they have all these handles they're working on with. But if we look at it in different subjects, there is a gap. So because technology is not only here to stay, it is going to surround us. And in the coming times, we really need to bridge the gap, start it early. Like Mr. Abhishek said, let's start it from grade 1. Why grade 6? Let's start teaching coding to children, and it could be a visual, programming for the children. Let's start from there so that children have hands-on experience of coding, not only as a subject, but experiential learning of coding. And in the times to come, we have come up with a STEAM lab in our school. Earlier we came up with a STEM lab, but then we added the A factor to it, the art to it. So it's not only science, technology, mathematics, engineering, it is art also integrated into it. So when we're talking about STEAM labs coming in schools, it's very important for all of us to understand that children have to be given those problems, let them come up with their solutions. And once the children come up with their solutions, it's going to be a phenomenal learning for the children. Uh, at this point of time, I'll just share an example with you. We have a STEAM lab in our school, and one of the first in the entire region around the Ambala, where our school is. So we give small little problems to our children. Say, where children are having a lot of posture problems. So they sit on a chair, they have a bad posture, and they build health problems like cervical and everything. So we tell them, okay, try and figure out how can we correct the posture of children. So our children have come up with a chair, a very innovative chair from the STEAM lab, where the moment the child sits on the chair and he has a wrong posture, there's a red light that beeps. And the moment he corrects his posture, it's a green light. So these solutions children are coming up with. And this is only happening when coding is actually being applied in their daily lives. Technology can be of no use to the child till the child understands the concept of it. Another, like, we are a green school, and we have lot of plants. We have vertical gardens where we cannot reach to water the plants. We have drip irrigation. So then we told the children, see, how much do we water the plants? So find a procedure where you can check the moisture level of a plant. So checking the moisture level of a plant through technology, through coding, that's what I think is hands-on learning, and that's what is required in today's times. Let's not tell our children it's a subject. Just let's tell our children it's something that they really need to be absolutely, it has to be hands-on. They have to be comfortable with it, and sky is the limit. Yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, you have given a very precise and a very good, answer for that it should not be taught as a subject. When you're teaching as a subject, it will always remain in the theoretical part, and children won't be able to understand that. Let's have the practical approach, and children will not, take it as a subject, not take it as a burden. They will enjoy that. Thank you so much, ma'am. We will come up to Kanchan ma'am. Kanchan ma'am, we will come up to you. We will like to know your views on the saying that with the learning of coding, different skills of children do develop. So do you believe in that? Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yeah, definitely. In my opinion, coding is simple transcription of CET. Now, what is CET? That is also code. Computational emotional thinking. See, technology is there. Everyone can understand technology. But when the children are working for coding, we need to take care of second era of that coding also, which is very important, because being a bio, you can understand the computational and emotional thinking. This is very important, because once, like we all 6 members are here, or the 5 members are here. We all are sharing 4 cores of our life, if you know or if you don't know. In medical transcription, coding skill is highly important. And so I can say the skills which are developed after coding is career building, because no one knows there is some chances in life where they can go for transcriptional technology or transcriptional skills by coding. Like I said, we are 5 people here. We have same sequences of DNA. These are also codes which we have. Still, we all are very different in our look part, maybe nose, eyes, cheeks, lips, whatever is there. So this understanding to children why coding is important in computers, because when they will learn by this byte of 0 and 1, and when there is a change of places in a different era, how it creates a lot of transformation in life. So today, the n number of apps which are created, that is based on logical reasoning. Very happily, I know in pre-primary, we have recently received one app from our trust, because in Bangalore, generally they are working for coding and all. I was surprised to see that dancing dinosaur. I was entirely unaware about that. Really telling you. I heard it first time from my children. Like, madam, this is the app where we can see and we can have fun of dancing of dinosaur. We cannot imagine even during our lifetime. So in my opinion, coding is must from, like Amrita ji said, or Indrajit ji said, this should be from primary. And it is not theoretical explanation, but practical experience. Because once I was in class 10th and one of the child is not studying and he explained me about the cryptocurrency. That was also new for me last year, entirely unaware. But the child started earning. How is it possible? So the practical implementation, experiential learning for these children, and the most important things, like Abhishek says, lab equipment is very important for these children to go for coding. Then only they can build confidence. They can be collaborative with other schools or the other places, and as well as they can go for their career building skills in life, because logical and reasoning skills can be developed with this coding system when it is inherited in their day-to-day curriculum. So curriculum has to plan accordingly. This is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to now Rajesh sir. Rajesh sir, we'd like to know your views on the saying that whatever we are using in our daily life, coding is everywhere, almost everywhere. Sir, you're on mute, sir.
So,
Sir,
sir,
you're on
I'll
mute.
say that-
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I will say a very enlightening session and really got to know about many things related to coding. And sir, as you know that each computer has its own language, namely machine code. And the main function of this code is to inform the machine to carry out the function. Each letter or number tells the computer to modify something within the memory. And sir, it's really the revolution. And really not only this, the range is even IoT, Internet of Things, the way like smart doors or smart sensors, or home security, or CCTV, which we can just access through our mobile, on our mobile, smart watches, the fitness trackers and all. And then we have connected car features, anything, we can do, like this using our mobile phones. Air conditioners, the way they are being operated, smart LEDs, even this, now they can change their colors as per, the programming done. So, sir, it is revolution. It is revolution. And I think, these programmers, developers, coders will not really rest in peace. I'll say that, they will not really take rest, right? So they will, in order to really just, make the life very, very comfortable, people are working day in and day out. And the way, this science and technology has transformed the world in last, I'll say, 5-10 years, it was not seen last 50 to 100 years. So that is really the importance of coding. So that's the reason even children, because they are quick learners, and it's truly said, catch them young. And so they take challenges very seriously. If something really, this wherein mental abilities required, wherein some coding and some special characters, features are there, then children really feel, oh, it is of my taste. And sir, children are so good at operating, these electronic devices, like many operations of my even mobile phones, which is known to my son. I don't know if I find any difficulty, I just approach him. I said, just tell me what's wrong with this one. Anything, even this these days, LED and all this television, and also if any problem with the functioning, even children are very quick. Very quickly, they'll just go through the manual and let us know. So that's the reason coding is really required for children and schools, and we must go for it, because this world belongs to, this science and technology, and coding is the future of the world that way.
Absolutely right, sir. Because when you ask your kids, they say, my son is in grade 9, so he does everything in computer and everything, like LED also. Papa, aapko to kuch nahi aata. So you are principal, they are handling thousands of students in your school. But when you come back your home and your realities they are related to technology, you are from a hero, you become a zero in front of the kids. Why? Again, sir, they are technology resident. We are technology migrants. So we need a lot of time and maybe may not be able to learn what they can learn. That is for sure, sir. Well, thank you so much, sir, for your enlightened views. We'll come up to Abhishek, sir. Abhishek, sir, first of all, if you'd like to say something as an expert on what everybody said, the main question I like to ask from you is that why should we implement coding in the schools? And what's the use of this, that instead of going into the, going into the higher classes, higher grades, higher studies, why students should start it from the very beginning? What is the difference?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So the first question, why we should start at the school, it's very simple, sir. We learn everything at the school. So coding should also be, I think every respected dignitary will also agree. We should teach coding at the school because that is the correct place where a student should go and learn. Now the question is, why should we start teaching them early, not at the later age, class 10, 11, 12, or maybe at the engineering college? Because, sir, as all of you are already discussed, we are living in a fast progressing world. Technology is changing so fast, like whatever we are doing in like now, it may be redundant or obsolete in next 5 years or so. So basically, we need to keep evolving. So if we plant the seed or inculcate the kids from class 1, just telling them concept, again, I would say, like not asking them to write the code, do some basic activity, write a small thing, do a small visual programming, and something will come up. That is very important. That will generate the interest towards the technology. That will again create a basic building of logic. Coding is, what is coding, sir? What we can say? Coding is nothing but set of logical steps. If we are doing something, if a computer is doing something, as sir, Mr. Rajesh sir already pointed, if a computer is doing something, it has to be told each and everything what it has to do. So it's a kind of logical sequence of things. No matter which language we can tell in C, we can tell in C++, we can tell in Python, whatever language could be the language. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what we are teaching computer, we're guiding him or instructing him to do perform a certain set of steps in a proper sequence. So that sequence is something which we need to teach to students, and we can very easily teach in from any class, maybe from class 1, because as a human being we already have that logic. It's just like we need to tell them how to use that in context of computer or in context of coding. So that is the one thing, sir. The second thing is like practical. When a student do something and if they see result in front of them, they get very excited and they also feel rewarded. So that is also what we can do at the school, the practical lab or something like that. If I, like the way I'm talking, like say if I'm saying currently, if I want to measure a room at my temperature, or if you want to measure the room of the classroom, I have a very small device like this, which we call them code and PSC. Using this, you can do n number of activity. You can measure your classroom temperature. You can measure the light. If you speak something, it will budge something. Okay, these two small devices can communicate with each other using radio waves. So, and doing this are very easy, sir. It's not like we need to write very big code. If you kindly permit me, I would just like to just take 30 seconds to show how it can be done. Just 30 seconds, not more than that. If you permit, I can share my screen and I can post it.
So we can start it from grade 1.
Yeah, we can start it from grade 1, sir.
So these are whatever you were showing, this small kit robotics. So we thought is a very big thing, but this small thing what you are showing.
Yeah, see, just one example, sir. I will say, if you want to measure how many steps we have run using this device, this is the line of the code, sir. See how easy it is for a student to learn, or how easy it is for a teacher to just learn and teach to the student. This way we can. So everyone, we wear the smartwatch, correct? It measures the step you have run, steps you have done throughout the day. This small program does the same thing on this very small device, sir. This is how you can do it, sir. Actually, how easy it is. That's what I wanted to say. The time is evolving. The technology is also evolving. We need to like invest in the correct set of technology. As ma'am pointed out, there is a chair which using which you can see the posture is correct or not. We went one step further. Why not do the same thing without using a chair? So if you can see, like I posted some few days back, I think 3 months back, the same thing created by one of our students. See, if the lady is sitting in the correct posture, it's showing correct. If it's not in the correct position. So these are the things that which students are already doing using coding, and that too using like our no additional tools, actually. That's what I wanted to say. I literally thank you for showing this. So these kind of things can be easily done. without any using sophisticated hardware or software. Just using plain basic thing, we can do it. Using Cooding, you can do all those things. From class 1 teaching visual programming to visual programming, I can show these games are we all have played, correct? Sir? In the child, we used to play this game. Now you see, this game is created without writing even a single line of code. These are just blocks: move, turn, go, glide, point. These are the basic building blocks which I was talking of the code answer. Actually, you can see these are the very basic blocks using which we can create a sophisticated game like this. So I literally thank all of you to allow me to share a glimpse actually. But yeah, these kind of things we can very easily do from class 1 to class 12. We can teach about the hardware programming. And one more thing, the robot which I was telling earlier, sir, the robot, it should not be doing the same thing. The robot should be like the way we are doing the multitasking, the robot should be also able to do the multitasking. So we have India's first reprogrammable robot, which I can say. This is the brain of the robot, sir. You write a program, the robot will perform the things. Like I have a robot with me also, if I could show. This robot, this is my robot. This brain fits here. The brain will fit here. It's a detachable. See how is it? The brain will fit. It will do things. Whatever you have written in this brain, it will do. If you ask him to run, it will run. If you ask him to circle, it will circle. Detach the brain, the robot is dead. Add your own logic, the robot will do something else. So see, that's how easy it is to teach actually. So ma'am, actually, I am here to create awareness also. These things, definitely you guys are doing very good things, sir, and I have a huge respect for them. And if given opportunity, or if we use correct set of tools, it's very, very easy to, like, I would say, multiply the thing. Your effort, your way of teaching, that will remain same. With the correct set of tools, it can amplify the thing and student can learn very easily.
So, Mr. Abhishek, this kit has to be used by every child, has to get different kits, or one kit is sufficient for?
One kit is sufficient for school.
One kit for whole school?
For a lab, actually. We believe, so we give 5 this kind of code and PSC, which we call PSC, where you can do different 72 kind of hardware activity. You can measure the temperature, you can measure the light intensity. If you speak something, it will do something. There is a touch sensor also. Remember, the touch sensor is also there. These 2 devices can communicate each other using radio waves. So I am in a room, you are in a room. We can communicate using these 2 devices without any Wi-Fi, nothing, sir. Just plain these 2 devices. It can measure your steps you have taken throughout the day. As ma'am pointed out, if the soil is the water intensity, the water level in the soil, those kind of hardware activity we can do. And kids will love when they create something and they see something coming out live in front of them. And it's very portable. So,
that's good. That's wonderful. A wonderful thing you have, Sir Abhishek, sir. We'll also like to know further in the second round from you that what else are there, what else is there coding, because there is a lot of curiosity about coding, that how it works, it will be a robot and this will be there. Many misconceptions are over there regarding the coding we had. When I had a word with you regarding the coding and robotics, one and the same thing, then many of my things also got cleared. So I wanted that you should also come up to the show and guide us at what actually coding is, and having a robotics lab and having a coding lab. It's a very big investment sort of thing. That also we'll talk about the later part of the session. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to the next round and I'll request that everyone should have a precise answer. We'll come up to Neil Indrajit Kaur ma'am. Ma'am, we will like to know your views on the saying that computer programming is the future of children. Neil ma'am. Sandhu ma'am, are you there? I think ma'am has some network issue. Yeah, ma'am is there. Yes, ma'am, you're on mute, ma'am. Yeah.
Network issue. Hanji. Yeah, so can you come again, Ji?
Ma'am, we want to know your views on the saying that computer programming is the future of children.
As we just discussed, and we are talking about hands-on learning. See, lab equipment has to be there for the child to start working on it. Because unless if we equip the child will not be able to get hands-on learning. So we have to have our labs in place. Before anything, we can talk about it day in and day out, but till the child is interested in learning about it, till the child feels there is a happiness quotient in it, the child will not be inclined to learn about it, because every child is not in for coding at this point of time. Every child, we have to build that kind of interest level in the child. We have to explain to the child from the grassroots level and gradually unfold it to the child. So if we talk about, programming to the child might not be interested. But if we go by small little, we make a robot we made a robot in a STEAM lab, and we said that it's going to be a live DJ. So it's going to move, right? Wherever we need, we can move it and take it along. So children were so fascinated by it. They wanted to know about it. So we are going, I feel the learning has to be backward. First, we show them the end result, and then we tell them, okay, we unfold it and we take forward the child through that journey. Like all subjects, we should handle coding, in a manner where the child doesn't feel, oh, it's a burden. Oh, ye kya naya aa gaya, new education policy. Are they school, yehi soch rahe hain, they shying away from it. But there is nothing to shy away. We have to go forward, take help from left and right. As you said, we are technology migrants. Let's first understand this. We are technologically challenged, and we want our children to be equipped so that they are not only residents, they are the future programmers, they are the future designers. When we talk about design thinking, let our children create things and learn backwards. Let them do web designing. Let's give them problems and let them find solutions and then learn coding. So that's how I feel we should go forward. Yeah.
Wonderful, 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 man. A very right thing and a very right decision. Just show them this thing is there and come backward and explain them how it is happening. So that interest will be creating, curiosity will be there that this thing is happening. It is changing itself. How it is changing, we need to know that. That is curiosity, and that is not actually they are going to study. They are going to enjoy that, and gradually the learning will happen for sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Kanchan, ma'am. Kanchan, ma'am, we had seen that after pandemic, all of a sudden there is a drastic change with that when we talk in terms of technology. Technology was there. Like Amrita ma'am was also saying that 30 years back, there was coding, but how the people accepted it or not, that was very different. As of now, after 2 years of pandemic, the most important thing, the wonderful thing has happened that everybody has accepted this technology, including AI and all this coding and all robotics and all. So what are your views on the saying that is from, we have changed from manual to coding? Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Like Neil ji said recently, from backward, we have to go backward learning, see, or 30 years, like Amrita ji said. So what happened? Within few days and few nights, I think we all have turned from manual to technology. Because literally I had of teachers, especially school teachers, where there were their financial issues and many problems were there. But their emotional part, computational thinking was with that to take care of the children technically and digitally. How was it possible? I would like to go in our Quran, just permit me. If we'll go to our Veda or something else, you will find, the technology era started with Narad Quran. What is Narad? That is knowledge. What is knowledge? That was technology which was used long back. Okay, I'm not talking about 100 years or 200 years back, but if we'll go back in past, we'll see the technology where he can move from one room to other room. Like we are creating room to get everyone together to share their thoughts. So Narad was moving from one loka to another loka. Okay.
That was also coding and robotics only. Everything was there at that time also.
Correct. Manual to technology. What today you are very far from me when I have not seen you physically or anyone else. Still, we all are in one room. So what is this? Again, change of manual to technology. If you have called me, oh, Kanchan, come to Kanpur. I need to see the transport facility, maybe train, maybe air. For air, I need to go at least 3 hours earlier to airport. See the time wastage. Okay, what technology has given us from manual, the most important thing is to utilize microseconds even for our life. Many people are using, like he said, कि बच्चों को हमें सिखाना पड़ेगा कि बहुत precious time they have, and they have a lot of things to learn because everything is available on one click, which was not possible for us. We need to go to library to get the books, to get it issue, and then to read and to make notes. So many different things were there, but now we can get everything. So in my opinion, this is very important to migrate from manual to technology, because the world is of competency based. And if we are in this competency, definitely we must compete to grow in a further way. Again, I'll give you one more example. I read a lot from the base side, about how many elements were used in Pushkar Viman. Whatever I read, I can't say, but 64 elements were used. And see the lightweight, where Alexa was not there to say कि पुष्कर विमान चलो उड़ो, यहाँ से हमें श्रीलंका जाना है. लेकिन that time also that technology was there. So वो जो हमारा gap period has happened, that we need to again change from that statue period or that stationary period, whatever we have faced. In India especially, we need to change the mentality of parents, where computer, electronics, coding is very important for logical and the brain and intellectual development of child. Because technology, now they are living in the world of technology. They are not living only in world of myths. Okay, we can only imagine, हाँ ऐसा होता होगा, but now they have questions: why, where, how. So it is possible when we'll give this technology and the transformation, then only it is possible. Otherwise, they will make fun of our epics, whatever they have. But we can make them realize how it was possible. So in my opinion, each and every school must have these techniques included, again, I say, to the curriculum, because then only this competency-based question, where there will be no any rote learning or the text learning. But like we are going today for our Finland model, but if we'll come back to our own Bharatiya model, we have everything available in our books and whatever it is there. So definitely technology is required for each and every child to express themselves, to know better, to save time. The time is very important, because real-time theory, when we all are learning, so how to go in space, and I don't know when the day will happen, like I'm talking ki ek loka se dusre loka. So ho sakta hai ki our future generation will also move from one lok to another lok within a few seconds of time or the microseconds of time. So that is
Absolutely
possible
right.
upon the coding.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely right, ma'am. Because they say that it is a circle. When you are moving, you will come up to the same place again.
Yes.
So somewhat we are near to that particular point where we started. It is very right. As I also pointed out when you were talking about that, everything was there thousands of years back also.
Yeah.
But only the form has changed. Only the mode has changed. The same things are present over here. And this is the way that we can convince the students as well as the parents that how it is more important, how these things are happening. And this is not a new thing which is happening. It was already there thousands of years back. क्योंकि कहते हैं कि वो एक चक्र होता है, चक्र घूम के हम वापस वहीं पे आए हैं. आप वही बच्चा कर रहा है जो पुरान में था, कोई गलत काम नहीं कर रहा. It's not a sin or anything that the child will get spoiled for. That is also very important at some of the places where you have to convince their parents also.
Correct.
That's wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That computational ecosystem has to be generated now. So definitely the things will understand very easily.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Rajesh sir, we'll come up to you. We like to have your views also on the same topic. Sir, from manual to technology. Sir, you're on mute, sir.
So, sir, very nicely, this Kanchan ma'am, she reflected on the topic. So that's really wonderful because, so one thing, children have great potential. So, and this future belongs to coding, programming, and technological advancement. Then why not to equip our children with all these tools, right? Because so many children, so many people, so many professionals are required across the globe. And Indians are second to none, right? You go to NASA, you go to Silicon Valley, You go to any part of the world, Indians are doing fabulous. So Indian schools and all, like, they will shape the destiny of this entire world. So for that matter, Indian and all school system must really focus a lot on coding. So it's good. Those who are interested, they should pursue the career in this, this area, or else, they can pursue any other, like someone wants to be great sports person or a musician, where it's not required, but still it's good. Why not to have the basic knowledge? So schools, but yes, sometimes I feel, because whenever I discuss, with children phonetics, so I feel, how to keep that interest level maintained. Because, sir, as we know, like phonetics also, in spoken English, there are only 5 vowels, written English, 5 vowels, but spoken English, there are 22 vowels, 12 monophthongs, 8 diphthongs, and 2 triphthongs. And it's very simple, again, to write, if I write the consonants of any word, and for vowel, if I put one blank, sir, it's not easy. It's not easy. Which symbol will come, it's very challenging. And I feel here at my place, I started discussing, because I'm very fond of phonetics, so last 25 years, and I feel 90% words of the dictionary I can transcribe, phonemic transcription, which I discuss with students of class 12. I said, okay, fine, children, see that. Any word, it's written, right? So how will you transcribe? And I find that it's really not easy. So for coding also, how to make the interest level intact, how to make children really, show their great interest in that. And again, it's possible through good, training, good appreciation, motivation. So that way we can do, or else it's really difficult. But yes, this very elementary level, schools are making efforts. As Sheikh Ji also shared, right from class 1, very, very elementary, from simple to complicated. So that way, we can go ahead. And sir, it is manual to technology, what to say. Earlier, it used to be all just, manual washing machines, and then semi-automatic and automatic. Oh, even my better half was not here. And I knew that, this I have to put, the cloths inside. After that, whatever the amount of, this powder,
Detergent.
detergent. And after that, only the timer is to be set, and some other operations, 1, 2, 3, that's all. In 4 seconds, everything ready. Just program it and forget. And then we get
Sir,
to know the beep that, everything is ready.
Sir,
So,
but there is no replacement of better half, sir. Why are you comparing that with washing machine, sir? That's wrong, sir.
no, I'm
That's
saying that she made me learn. She made me learn how to operate, the
Sir,
washing machine.
every wife makes you learn when you are get married. That wonderful things you learn, whatever you have not learned during your bachelor life.
So, sir, that way it's really amazing.
Very,
It's
yes,
really
sir.
amazing.
Yeah.
Things have
So,
become
sir,
very easy.
yeah, IoT, it's again a wonderful thing. I have, like some video on my mobile phone, and I want to see, like the bigger, then again, I'll connect, through this, um, connect to LED, this the TV, and then we can watch. So that way, hundreds of things are there.
Yes.
So, sir, it's really time. And hats off to all those scientists who are working day in and day out, right, sir, in order to make our lives, very, very comfortable and very enjoyable. So
Correct.
that is the thing, and that's really great. People do not know, of course, about so many, like of these great inventors, but hats off to them. Today,
So right now,
like you can see, and today we can pay tribute to Thomas Alva Edison, the kind of invention made, invention of electric bulb. Oh my God, you see, sir, today, how that one invention transformed the world, what, this level we have reached today. So, hats off to this, human beings,
yes,
the,
sir.
the brainiest creature of the species on the planet. and it will never, take rest. Keep on making great efforts. So really, if you see the difference from prehistoric times to the current, contemporary times, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Absolutely right,
Again,
sir.
I feel sometimes if you compare, this mankind is just a dot on the astronomical figures. If you take into consideration in this universe, how many this galaxies? Oh my God! In one galaxy, how many stars and whatnot? But after all, it's human being. Oh my God! Amazing, sir. So
That's
hats
wonderful,
off
sir.
to God that He created humans in His own image. And yes, the human
Sir, right
beings,
now, sir,
they never look
uh,
back.
Rajesh, sir, right now, thanks is to the people like Abhishek, who are bringing these things to us, to the schools, to the children. These are wonderful things they have created, and they are bringing up to the schools and to the children in a very simple manner, and in a manner where they can, have it. Like Amrita ma'am also said, that after 5 years, you may not think what will happen. Whatever you're teaching right now may not be sufficient at that time. Things may change. So people
Right.
like Abhishek, who are the nearest source to us to bring this out of the whole universe and planets you have talked about, of the human beings, he is the right human being, type of right human being who's bringing all these things to us, making the thing simple. And the one more question I want to ask after you right now is very important. After that, we'll come up to the somewhere near to the end. Thank you so much, Rajesh sir. It's wonderful hearing you again and again. और आपको तो सर पूरे दिन सुनते रहे तभी मजा आता रहेगा सर.
Sir, one thing I would like to say, I would like to know that means the contact details of Abhishek ji. So I would like to just have a word with him over phone, right? And
Sure,
just,
sir. I will
yeah,
share the
get some
contact
more
details
input.
with each
Yes,
other.
sir.
I'll contact the
Yes, sir.
details with each other, all of you.
Right.
Let me ask him a question which is very important on behalf of all of us. Abhishek
Right.
sir, first of all, the most important thing I have to ask you is the financial matter. That is the most important thing. Whatever the things concept we have in mind, or the principals have, or the management have, is that coding or robotics lab is of a huge investment. Is it that so? And how it is works, and how it is how it is economical, and how it is good? Please tell us about that.
Yeah, thanks a lot to all sir, Rajesh sir, Kanchan ma'am, Nilanjan ma'am, and every respected dignitary. Sir, the very important thing which we started discussing, like we missed that the class. We discussed 3 types of schools. Ma'am, Kanchan ma'am started class A kind of school, class B kind of school, and class C kind of school. So our aim is to like enable each kind of a school so that they should be able to teach. So if I say, so to answer your question, sir, it's very, very affordable, I would say. We are here to serve the society also, not only to earn the money. Definitely everyone want to earn the money, but that should not be the only motto, because that will not take you anywhere. As Sir Rai sir already pointed, we are just a dot or kind of bubble. If I talk about the universe now, we are just a soap bubble, come and go, pop up and pop out. That's it. That's how human life. If I take about the bigger time frame, even lesser than that. So, like, we should be definitely we should give back to the society. So, the answer to your question, we are not very expensive. We are not expensive at all. We are there at many class C kind of schools also, even Naxalite area schools also. I cannot basically. It's not good for me to reveal the price at this forum, but yeah, it's very, very affordable, and I would say like just 1/10 of whatever. It may be even less than 1/10 of what you guys may be paying or already paying to Atal Tinkering Lab or those kind of big setups.
That's wonderful. That means if we talk about, we need a room, a little furniture, and the kit what you are providing. That's it.
Sure.
And we can go ahead with that.
Yeah, so it is very much compatible with your existing lab, sir. Yeah, whatever computer and number of computer you are having, you need not to install any software, nothing like that. We'll give you
Okay,
just.
you earlier told me that all the computers can also be used when you have this kit. What was
Correct.
that?
Yes, sir. So basically, Cooding works in 2 modes. One is the classroom mode, where the teacher can explain it on the bigger screen. Second, in the computer lab mode, where say you are having 20 computers. Now, all of those 20 computers, student can practice the programming independently. One student can learn C, one student can learn C++, one student can learn visual programming, whatever they want, they can do. The way we are, say, on 20.
So that means if there is 1 kit and 20 computers are added, to that will become 21 kits.
Correct.
Right. That's wonderful. Every child don't have to afford for 1 kit separately.
No, nothing. Just
that is good thing.
Yeah. One
That
kit
is
to
good
entire
thing.
school, sir. That's it. So our
So if
motto.
yeah.
Sorry, sir.
So we have 50 computers. So if I'll take a one kit, so that will become 51 kits.
51.
51.
Correct.
That is wonderful. That is very
All
good.
of it. And that will complete offline mode, sir. You don't need any internet. We'll create our own network. You don't need any internet. There are two advantages of it. One, like, sir, we are fortunate, but all students are not that fortunate. All schools, some of the schools have the budget issue. So they cannot afford to pay a huge subscription amount on the internet recurring fee. So it's completely offline, no internet, nothing is needed. Second,
Okay.
like from kid point of view, they will be also focused. Like even if the teacher is not there in the lab or he or she needs to go out for some time, then they must be kids must be doing something related to coding and programming because nothing else they can do. It's completely offline. So on your computer, you will be either doing the coding or some, but you will not be doing anything else. So
That's
distraction will also be zero.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So that way it is also very good. So
Yes.
the concepts, that is what we wanted to clear the concepts by starting up this season, that what is coding actually and how far it is, expensive or reasonable or whatever it is. Wonderful thing you are doing, Abhishek, sir. You want to say something?
Yeah, just one last thing, sir. I just wanted to add, like here, every teacher is a very respected dignitary. But for most of the schools now, sir, there is one more problem: what to teach, how to teach, and when to teach. For most of the schools, right, sir? So Cooding also solved that problem. It's a completely graded curriculum from class 1 to class 12. For each class, we have complete graded curriculum. Like visual programming, we teach from class 1 to 8. So each class will have a different set of visual programming activity. As ma'am said, students should have interest. So for small kid, I cannot give the same activity which I give to the bigger kid. For small kid, it should be very small thing, very funny thing. So those kind
Okay.
of things also we have catered into the device. Again, complete offline, comes with complete graded curriculum from class 1 to 12. Every class will have some set of activity. Then if I talk about programming language, it covers all major programming language, C, C++, Python. One important thing, sir, if you just allow me 30 seconds, like I'm smiling or if I am tense, something like that. Everyone uses Facebook. Kids also use Facebook, Instagram. There are many filters we see, fancy filters. So kids should also know how they work actually. They are using the app, but they are not knowing how they work in the background. So we have some 12 real world kind of activities, sir, where you can detect, you can understand how face detection works, how retina detection works, how to detect mood, how to recognize whether it's an apple or it's a bicycle or it's some other thing actually. So those kind of real world activity also we have, real world AI and machine learning, which is again for higher kids of class
Amazing.
11 and 12, that is also there, sir.
That's amazing. I mean, you learn different subjects also. That's very good. Thank you so much, Abhishek, sir. You have given a lot of awareness, enlightened the topic about the coding. We had a lot of misconceptions regarding, many people have, I don't know everybody has misconcept, but I was also having a lot of misconcept about the coding and about the robotics. So many things you have cleared as of now. Thank you so much for giving us your views.
Sure.
Coming up to the last part of the show, which is the culture of the S.S. Chandhok talk show, that everyone who comes over here has to sing 2 lines. Sing 2 lines. It may be filmy, it may be original, it may be devotional, it may be patriotic, anything you want to sing. And being Rajesh sir, being the old member of this community, he will be given the chance of seniors. The freshers who have come for the first time, they will have to sing first. Sir, you are the showstopper. You have to do it at the end of the session, sir. So, ma'am, Kanchan ma'am, we'll come up to you, ma'am. Your teachers, your principals, and your students should know that my principal is, my senior is versatile. Any 2 lines of any song, ma'am.
This is the most difficult task for me,
We just had Teachers Day, ma'am, yesterday only.
I can play, if you have seen my yesterday's DP, I can play very well cricket. I can go for good sketching. If you will ask me, I'll take one copy pen, I can make your sketch, but very difficult to sing a song. Everyone laughs in school, like ma'am says everyone to sing, but I cannot.
Ma'am, only 2 lines, ma'am. Only 2 lines, any 2 lines. Your favorite song, any, ma'am. Any. See, we should have a me time also, ma'am, because throughout the day we are working so much and we have today discussed also a lot of things. And before parting, we should have very good memories that, we had a wonderful get together of the principals today.
My favorite is Kishore Kumar. Very much. I just love his songs. Whenever we are going for outing, definitely we have Kishore Kumar. But I like one bhajan very much, which was sung by one of my student, and always she used to sing, but now unfortunately she is not, with us. So for her, whenever I ask her, will you please sing a song? And she used to start with that 2 lines of bhajan because she knew that I like it very much, but got an accident anyway.
Bye.
So I'll try to sing, but I'm very sorry, I'm very poor in my singing.
No problem, ma'am. No problem, ma'am.
Yeah. ओ पालनहारे निर्गुण और न्यारे तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नाही तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नाही बस that's all.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful, ma'am.
Very nice. Very
Ma'am,
melodious.
Ma'am, I already told earlier also to the principals that I'm going to talk to Indian Handle people that they should start up a season with the educationists, especially for the principals and directors, where only these people will participate. And ma'am, you are going to the quarterfinals. Your voice is not so bad as you are saying, but still it will keep on improving when you will be coming next to the assistant talk show.
Oh, sure. Next time
Because
I'll
now you know,
prepare.
because you know now the paper is out now. So you know the paper has been leaked, so you know that now you will be get rehearsed. That
Sure,
will be not be a surprise next time. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Definitely. Thank you.
Neil ma'am also has been network connection or whatever way she has gone away. She was knowing that. So Abhishek sir, so let's have first you first because Rajesh sir has to sing the for the closure because उनकी तो आवाज सुनेंगे तो हम किसी की आवाज सुन भी नहीं पाएंगे फिर.
अरे नहीं ऐसा नहीं सर क्या कह रहे हो
अभी सुनेंगे सबको पता चलेगा सर.
तो थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच. मतलब मेरी आवाज थोड़ी सही नहीं है तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि पहले आप मुझे सुन ले ताकि जब आप सर की अच्छी आवाज सुनेंगे ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा.
सही बात है.
2 लाइन डेफिनेटली सर. रुक जाना नहीं कहीं तू हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही.
वाह सर, तो इसी को आगे ही 4 लाइनें मैं कर दूंगा और आगे क्योंकि मेरा बड़ा
वाह,
फेवरेट
वाह।
सॉन्ग है अभिषेक सर.
मुझे भी बहुत पसंद है ये वाला एंड वेरी रिलेवेंट सॉन्ग फॉर ईच वन ऑफ
मैम किशोर
सही है.
कुमार को
तो
आप
मैं
भूल
जब
जाएंगी
भी
सर की आवाज
कभी
सुन के.
बच्चों को एड्रेस करता हूँ मैं हमेशा ही उनको कहता हूँ कि बच्चों तुम्हारे लिए तो बहुत ही बड़ा है ये संदेश है यानी कि किशोर दा का. और उसके बाद वो कहते क्या है, साथी न कारवां है ये तेरा इम्तिहान है यूं ही चला चल दिल के सहारे कि देती है मंजिल तुझको इशारे देख कहीं कोई रोक नहीं ले तुझको पुकार के ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही ओ राही रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बाहर के रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बाहर के. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
सर आई कैन फील द गूज बम सर. मजा आ गई सर.
नहीं सर, अरे सर,
मजा आ गई सर. इट्स वंडरफुल टू हियर यू सर. किशोर कुमार पार्ट 2 सर. किशोर कुमार पार्ट 2.
Yes.
You are in the finals for sure sir. Trophy is yours. Before
Not at
starting.
all, sir. So many singers are there in our country, of course, principal singers.
Sir, I have come across so many
we'll
singers
enjoy.
during these around. I'm going to complete the 100 episodes, but I have not got a beautiful singer like you. You are awesome, sir. I love you, sir.
तो सर अभी 2 लाइनें फिर ये तो सर मैंने अभिषेक सर का कंप्लीट किया था.
हाँ वो तो अपना वाला.
तो सर हाँ, if that is session is over.
No sir, not over sir. Abhi carry on sir. Session is over or not? We'll keep on listening till midnight sir. No problem.
Right sir. So sir, another very favorite song because yesterday we had our Teachers Day program and again 2 of our branches so we conducted together in our own banquet hall and it was such an amazing session. And so you'll be surprised to know I sang more than 15 songs yesterday.
Oh my, very good.
Oh,
Because after teachers left and a chairman, sir, अरे यार मुझे तो यार किशोर दा की आवाज सुनने को आज मिली नहीं, चलो भाई यार आ जाओ. और फिर मैं
अच्छा.
और एक और मेरे साथ एक और हमारा एक और टीचर, अरे हम दोनों एक के बाद एक सारे. तो सर एक और ये था ना, वो जो सॉन्ग है, ला 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 ला. कल की हमें फुर्सत कहाँ, सोचे जो हम मत वाले, जीवन के दिन छोटे सही, हम भी बड़े दिल वाले. कल की हमें फुर्सत कहाँ, सोचे जो हम मत वाले. और इसका जो सेकंड स्टैंजा है, ये जिंदगी दर्द भी है, ये जिंदगी है दवा भी, दिल तोड़ना ही न जाने, जाने ये दिल जोड़ना भी. इस जिंदगी का शुक्रिया सदके मैं ऊपर वाले. कल की हमें फुर्सत कहाँ, सोचे जो हम मत वाले. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Krishna.
अरे सर किशोर दा,
Hail, sir,
so you
hail,
are
sir,
phenomenal,
hail.
phenomenal.
You are our god of singer, sir. Hail.
अरे सर
We
बस
vote
आई एम अ
you.
किशोर दा fan, that's all, and a bathroom singer.
Sir, this is what you call bathroom. This is drawing room. This is, every room singers you are, sir. What are you saying? So हम लोग कहाँ जाएंगे, sir? हम लोग कौन से singer बनेंगे फिर? पता नहीं.
But sir,
bathroom से भी
now
बाहर.
one thing I'll share, now I've started learning. So sir, at home, just 3 days back, I asked music faculty send one harmonium to my place, and I have just, sir, मैं सीखना शुरू कर रहा हूँ. और sir, मैं once some in 2009 I learned for 3 months, and this music teacher there, he will sit with this tanpura. Oh my God, sir, I'm feeling really goosebumps. When he maybe, and it's still what happens, I take 2 lines. Sani dha pa ma ga re sa pa ma ga ma dha. And sir, I'll take 1 line and I'll sing it for 1 hour. Ni dha ni sa re sa ni dha ma ni dha ma ga re sa. Sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa pa ma ga ma dha. Sir, any 2 lines. This is the power. And sir, recently I met Dr. Kiran Seth, who is the founder of Speak McKay in Jammu.
acha.
At I am Jammu, this, and in order to just, convey the message of, health and environmental sensitivity, this great man who is 73 years of age, he is on solo cycle expedition from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. He took a start on 15th August and he'll be reaching Delhi on 2nd of October, and he'll reach, this Kanyakumari on 31st Jan 2023. And he said, I was also like any other, ordinary person with strumming guitar and singing Western song. But when I was doing my PhD from Columbia University, he worked for 40 years with IIT Kharagpur and IIT Delhi. And he saw one ad, Daga Brothers performing at Princeton University. He said, I just took tickets and I reached there, and that proved to be my turning point. I do 3-hour riyaz in the morning. And he shared that all great mathematician, physicists, these people, they have their interest in music. Had Einstein not been a great, the scientist, he must have been a great violinist, classical violin. So he used to play. And sir, ever they got stuck up anywhere in solving a problem, great mathematicians quoted, 20 names. They would like to go, have some riyaz, and after that come back and solve the problem. So, sir,
Right.
I'm very keen that my students at JK Public School, right from lower classes, they should learn classical, this music. So, sir,
Don't
I
worry, sir.
think
I'm
that's
coming
the
to Jammu,
need
sir.
of the hour. अरे
Sir,
sir,
I'm
most
coming, sir.
welcome. आइए.
मैं आ रहा हूँ सर, मैं बिल्कुल आ रहा
I'll
हूँ,
be
जल्दी
ready
आ रहा
with
हूँ.
some classical, in songs, so I'll just prepare and I'll just sing, right?
We all will come, sir. Sure, sir.
I think we missed out the conference of Jammu. We thought how we'll go, but if Chandokji have made earlier, definitely I would have registered myself for Jammu conference. You are hosting, you are organizing that.
Yeah,
In
ma'am, I'm
Jammu,
going to
this
organize.
conference
Yeah.
is there. So I asked Rathorji, Rajeshji, are you?
Most welcome, ma'am. Please, whenever you just plan your visit to Jammu, so you are most welcome here.
Yeah.
And of course, it's known as City of Temples. So many, just, very famous, the temples are here.
Yeah.
And besides many other, the features, Jammu has, so treasures. So that way, so most welcome to Jammu, ma'am.
Sure.
That's wonderful,
Thank
sir.
you.
Wonderful. Had a very wonderful time today. A very different evening out of every evening I had from last 1.5 years. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir, Rajesh sir, and Kanchan ma'am. I hope you all had a very good time. Hope to
Yeah.
meet you, see you or meet you again, virtually also and offline also,
Offline also.
according to the God's will. Of
Sure.
course, I'll share the contact details with each other, so that you people should get in contact with each other always. Thank you
Sure.
so much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot.
so much.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks,
Yeah.
Abhishek sir. Okay, thanks a lot, Chandok sir.
Sir,
So have a great time. Bye bye. Take care.
sure, sir. Bye bye,
Yeah.
sir.
Bye. Thanks a lot.